At the night, full coverage of the events in Philly coming up. Plus, the star of the game is going to join us. We're going to find out together who that is.
Yes. Now, check us out. If you were not locked in all day, here's what you may have missed as we take it right out the tunnel.
I've heard revenge is a dish best served with 8 straight wins.
Well, that would
revenge for Will Lutz. Chiefs and Broncos. We got Lutz here lining up for the game-winning kick. But, hold up. Wait a minute. Timeout. We've seen this before. November the 10th, 2024. Lutz's game-winning kick attempt blocked by Leo Chanel. The Broncos sideline, they're obviously devastated. This was also in a game against the Chiefs, so Andy Reid's reaction completely the opposite. The Chiefs won that one 16-14. Back to today. The 35-yarder, didn't miss that one. Up and in for the win. Broncos beat the Chiefs 22-19.
How about a little coffin corner display? I mean, that's the goal of every punter. This is Ethan Evans, Seahawks-Rams game, and you leave it right where it's supposed to be in the very corner to force the team to start their drive from their perfect product placement. Rams would get the win 21-19.
And here's your reminder, he is an MVP for a reason. Josh Allen, Bucks and Bills. 6 total touchdowns for Josh Allen, 3 passing, 3 rushing. Second career game he has done that. No other player has done that once, and he's now done it twice. No active player.
Yeah.
More on that coming up in just a little bit.
Because we've got all the big games coming up, but we do have to start with our opening drive here, Week 11. It is the Eagles taking on the Lions. 2 teams we figure to see deep in the playoffs here in 2025. First drive of the game for Detroit. Jared Goff's pass gets deflected there by Jordan Davis, picked off by Cooper DeJean. He returns it for 21 yards. Philly would take advantage. They would kick a field goal. And how about that play from Davis to put that ball in the air as Philly takes the early lead? All right, Lane Johnson heads to the locker room. He's got a foot injury. He would not return, so that was a big deal for the Eagles' offensive line. Second quarter, though, Lions are down 6-0 now. Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. First down and a lot. 34 yards on that play. So that sets up this. Goff, Jamison Williams, and he's on the run, and he's got room to run. 40 yards, and then check out the celebration. Just pops on the goalpost like a koala bear. 15-yard penalty, though.
For that?
Yeah, because you can't use props. The goalpost is technically a prop. So they would miss the
pumping,
PAT.
maybe. I don't know.
So it's just 6-6. Here, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown for 11 yards. That would set up first and goal. The very next play, it's Saquon, and he is in for the score. At least that's what we thought, right? But after review, he would be down just short. So what do we do? Of course, you know what we do. We're pushing. And Jalen gets it in. Eagles are up 13-6 at the half. Third quarter now. Eagles 3rd and 1, another tush push, but there's a flag on the play. Eagles are called for a false start. But check this out.
Yeah, this was weird.
Tyleik Williams is lined up in the neutral zone, and Tyler Steen is like trying to point it out, but gets called for the false start as a result. So the Eagles would be forced to punt. On the next possession for Detroit, they are going for it on 4th and goal. They did this quite a few times in this game. That's what they do, right? But Goff, incomplete. They were 0 for 5 on 4th downs in this game. That's the second most in Dan Campbell's tenure with Detroit. Now we go to the 4th quarter. It's 3rd and 5 for the Eagles, and Jalen gets the first down. They would kick another field goal to go up double digits, 16-6. Less than 4 to go. Eagles attempting the tush push on 4th and inches, and they do not get it. So the Lions would get it back. They would kick a field goal to make it 16-9. Then the Eagles get it back, trying to run out the clock. It's 3rd down, and the Lions thought they'd forced 3 and out, but instead it's a pass interference call on Rock Yassin. Can we see this one more time? Wow, that is nitpicky. So Detroit could not get the ball back. Eagles would eventually run out the clock. Saquon got a first down. That was big. And Dan Campbell and the Lions lose it 16-9 on the road to the Eagles.
Tim Hasselbeck is here with us as always. Look, Dan Campbell is not afraid to go for it on fourth down, but what we aren't used to seeing is the fact that the Lions were 0 for every single time, 0 for 5. What happened there?
Well, I think Dan Campbell probably needed to, take the conditions into consideration, take into consideration, how his offense was playing, what the flow of the game was going to be, because, they kept putting their defense in a bad spot. And while the defense played well, there just were too many times where, the aggressiveness, cost them. Fake punt after they failed on the first one, then they went for it on 4th and 1, pressured down near the goal line. We saw that one. Brock Wright was open. And then early in the game, just, missed throws, that Jared Goff wasn't able to hit. And I think in part because of the wind, because they weren't, able to pass the ball, either team, accurately down the field. And so I think sometimes when the aggressiveness works out, you want to stick with it. But in the environment tonight, it didn't seem like it was a good idea for the Lions.
Now, for Philly, obviously, the goal is to always win, and they win again. But it's back-to-back low-scoring games for this Eagles offense. And I know we're a little far away from the playoffs, but if you're a fan of this team, you're like, when are we going to get a more efficient offense to give us a better chance to win every game? What concern do you have with that Philly offense?
Yeah. But if you're a fan or a receiver, Michael, maybe, depending.
Okay.
I think they're both having similar complaints right now. Look, I think, they're a run-first team, and they have not been running the ball, that well. They had some injuries. Lane Johnson, obviously, came out of the game tonight, and so that will have an impact on it. I do think the conditions tonight impacted the passing game. I think going against a really good defense impacted the way, the offense was able to play. But I do think this. They've been a little bit hesitant to run Jalen Hurts in the regular season. And I think that's a good plan. You don't need him to take a ton of hits if you're able to win games without running him. I would think that when you get into the postseason, we're going to see, a lot more design runs for Jalen Hurts, because it gives you a number advantage, in the run game. It makes Saquon harder to defend when you've got to deal with Hurts coming out the other side. And it also helps your passing game. So I'm not overly concerned right now, because I do think there are things that they will do when it matters more later in the season.
Kind of the concept of taking unnecessary risk. All right, stand by.
The second game of his career with 3 of each. The rest of the NFL down through the years in history, and no one else has ever done it once. So that's Josh Allen for you.
This Josh Allen fella, he needed to put his cape on today. They needed to win this game badly. And playing a good football team and a quarterback similar to Josh Allen as far as his ability to extend plays, the energy bunny when you play Baker Mayfield. He's a hard out. Yep. You got to knock him out, right? And Josh Allen knew, and this football team knew, that where we stand right now, we are chasing the New England Patriots. We cannot afford to lose another game right now. We have to win this game. Good win for them. There's no doubt about that.
What's interesting about this game, Josh Allen started the game with an awful interception inside the team's 10-yard line, and he threw another